The primary function you're going to drive from your MiniCS is going to be video switching. This is going to be the same functionality that you find in the middle area of your TriCaster user interface. And the control panel is going to mimic the same behavior as the switcher tab found in your TriCaster. So if you're used to working in express mode, you should switch it to switcher mode because that's how the control panel will function. When we look at the control panel, we can see a row of buttons called Program and Preview. And these match the same functionality found on the user interface. By pressing any of the buttons, you'll bring that appropriate channel to Program or Preview. Now you can see the buttons listed out here. There is what's called a second bank of buttons. This gives you the ability to access more sources, and those can be done by holding down the Alt button on the control panel. And then you can press any of these buttons to access the second bank of sources. So for example, if I press 3, you can see that on the user interface that has selected buffer 3. So do be aware that you really have two sets of sources. There's the unalted set of sources, which show exactly what the keycaps show, and then pressing down Alt will give you a second set of sources you can pick from. Next to this is the transition area, and we can see a take an auto button, and this will function just like the take an auto button on the TriCaster user interface. So take will always perform a cut, and the auto will perform whatever transition you currently have loaded. Now above these two buttons are some knobs, and these can be used to alter the transitions. So the one that's called Select will allow you to change the transition that you currently have loaded. And by twisting this, you'll see it changes to the different transitions on the interface. So I now have the one called Clouds selected, and if I press Auto, it will perform that action. There's another one called Rate. And rate will change the speed of the transition. So if you rotate this, you'll see that I am adjusting the timing, either lower or higher. Now, these two knobs, besides being a knob that you can twist, can also be pushed to perform a function as well. And in the case of the rate knob, every time you push it, it will cycle between slow, medium, and fast. So I can use that to quickly get to one of the speeds I want. So now I'm on fast. And the select knob, whenever you press this, it will reverse the transition. So let's pick one that maybe we could see this better. Here we go. On this one, so if I play it forwards, you'll see the globe flies one way. I'll press select, and now you'll see the globe flies in the opposite direction across the screen. So just be aware that there's a button along with a knob function for both of these. Finally, we have our T-bar, and this allows us to manually perform a transition. So just like you press auto, we'll just run the transition from start to end. The T-bar will allow you to stop anywhere. So with the transition I currently have loaded, you'll see that as I run it through, it goes at whatever speed I move the transition of the T-bar. Now, commonly, this would be used with something like a fade effect so that you could maybe fade partial way through your transition. So you can see I can go in here, pull a fade. Maybe I need to stop at some point to add some effect between the transition and then finish it when I am complete.